Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at the new weapon, Dreadshot, and I'm just going to get right to the point. This weapon is straight up garbage. If you've been thinking of getting it, don't, please. Do yourself a favor. The stats are trash, the damage is really, really bad. Even if you had max legendary implants, it's not going to do anything. It's worth noting that this weapon does not actually have a damage implant whatsoever. Which is actually good for me because that means that I don't need to get a damage implant in order to know, what the maximum damage is. I'm doing the most amount of damage as I'm going to just by having a legendary pilot. And you'll be able to see it in action, if action is the word you want to use to describe it. But yeah, I'll be throwing it on a few mechs. Some, solid scout mechs first, Eclipse, Surge. Things that can, things that are so good that they can make basically any weapon usable. But then, for the final ultimate test, we're going to put it on Orion. And anyone who doesn't know, Orion has an incredible habit of making really bad weapons feel somewhat decent. And when I tell you that not even Orion can save this weapon, not even Orion will make this weapon seem even remotely useful, I fully mean that. And it's absurd. Alright, so you might be asking yourself...
Well, RuFFles, you didn't actually describe what their weapon does. Like, why haven't you, actually told us what it does?
It literally does nothing. Not just no damage, it does no damage, but it also, it has no special perks. Its perk is literally, big damage, go boom. Even though it doesn't actually have big damage, so it just goes boom. It makes you go boom, because you don't do any damage, so you just die. Look at freaking pathetic this is, the freaking kickback, the recoil from firing this thing, it's making my screen's moving more than their HP is. So essentially, this thing has a single shot, relatively large mag. It's basically like a railgun that has really sad damage and a really large magazine. All of which could be usable. Actually, they could be really useful, specifically on something like Orion. Because the main downside of something like Railgun is that it doesn't have the ammo capacity to deal with mods in a good way. So something with a little bit larger magazine could actually really help. The problem is that this thing doesn't have the kind of damage that it needs. I think technically it fires 4 shots, kind of like a quad rocket, in a little bit of a shotgun spread. There is a really, really small hit cone, so the further away you are, the less damage you're going to do with it. But that kind of goes for any weapon, so that's pretty much it. It's pretty much the same as any other weapon, really. Wow, that was okay. Goodbye. Alright, so we're gonna fight this player with this thing on Surge. One small benefit, I suppose, to not having any implants is that I can stack this pilot with all ability implants, which does do pretty well for Surge. The weapon implants on this, kind of pointless. Yo, bruh. I'm literally shooting this guy in the back with 2 of these, and you saw that it just straight up was not doing anything. I can't afford to stay there. I'm gonna freaking die. The reload implant would probably be helpful. I don't know how helpful, but would theoretically be pretty helpful. Oh, okay. Goodbye. The weapon has a small double damage chance, but it's rather inconsequential as far as things go. Oh no, okay, goodbye. Alright, so we're gonna try this again. Let's hope that... ah, crap. Let me just... Bro, it took my full freaking duration to kill this guy. Oh, nice, I got them both, though. I freaking can't. I can't, bro. I don't... My reload speed's so long. Alright, we got it on Bastion now. We're gonna see how this works out. Bastion's typically pretty good with heavy-duty type weapons or assault type weapons. So if anything can pull it off, should be this guy. I was able to get my full mag off before dying, but wasn't able to do any damage with it. Let's just... Do you see that? Do you see that? Bro. I may as well not be shooting. The amount of damage that it's not dealing is just ridiculous. Like, how does a weapon manage to release like this? I'm so confused because it's so bad in every way. It fires really slowly. The range is pretty decent. Okay, I won't let the range is pretty decent, so it's not bad in terms of range. But it fires really slowly. Ow! The damage is really bad. The reload's really bad. It's crazy. All right, so we got this guy, cold as hell, on the other team, and we have Disappointment 12s on Vortex. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Vortex is pretty good. Let me I'm just gonna push this guy, honestly. The ability damage might kind of help make up for some of the lost weapon damage. Honestly, I'm gonna reload. I know it takes a second to reload, but I didn't have enough magazine to kill anything as it was. This guy's got freaking repeaters, though I'll gladly take a repeater over this piece of crap. Maybe I could have killed him if I had repeater. Let's get in kind of close, but not too close. This guy, I just don't want him to EMP me. Go through the bottom. Honestly, this thing has no right to have such a freaking long reload time. There's a reload implant, sure. There's a mag size implant, sure. But like those aren't even the main issues, to be honest. Those are just side issues. Additional issues, if you will. Oh, almost snagged the kill. Took that one though. Stagger the shots a little bit to get through the shield. Alright. Let me just... Okay, this guy's reloading, so that's great. I can get him inside my radius. Possibly even kill this guy? Nope. I have to wait here for another 10 seconds while my 0 damage reloads. Like, I basically just, like, cheese the bots by staying here, but, like, I probably won't get anything, bro. I kind of wanted to go up to try to use my ability on him, which probably could have killed him, but I also might have died doing it, so it was kind of a little bit too risky. There we are. This guy. Bro, did you see it? Took freaking 2 shots to kill that guy's, like, probably level 3 epic perimeter. It's freaking stupid. Like, that's gonna damage me a little. That's way, it's way less damage than it needs to be doing. It needs to be doing a lot more damage than that. I'm dead here. Yep. Alright, so all of that was pretty sad, but, you know, there are other weapons that are sad, right? So let's try it on Orion, the ultimate test. Now, if you don't know how Orion's ability works, it essentially throws a mark at an enemy that increases your damage by 150%. Well, it increases your damage by 50%, but also every hit counts as a back hit, so it's essentially like dealing 2.5 times damage, which is a stupid amount. It's the highest firepower in the entire game, is putting 12s on Orion. Even higher than Blockhorn, which has 32 energy with a damage boosting ability, and the implant on that damage boosting ability. So yeah, cannot overstate. Massive, massive damage boost from this mech. Okay? Alright, this is a good map for Orion too. I can chill on one side. I could basically use this as a sniper. I think my max range is 120. My effective range is close to 100. It's not too bad. I don't want to get too close, but I do want to make sure that I'm in range of this guy. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. This guy freaking not doing any damage. Did you see that? Like, he was marked. That guy was freaking marked. Okay. Hey, hey, these bots need to chill. They're shooting at this guy. They're shooting at this idiot. Get up there. Get up there, you buffoon. Go get yourself killed. Alright, this... 3 shots took it down half HP when it was marked. When it was marked, it was taking, like, basically 3 times the damage. Look at this, so stupid. Where is the, like, I don't see it. There's no damage. This thing's freaking broken or something. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm trying my best to make it work. Like, I was really excited for this build specifically, actually. Because of, ow! The way that it could potentially be kind of played like a railgun. Okay, so yeah, I mean, suffice it to say, one of the bots did better than me in basically every single one of those matches, except for the ones where I died super early, because then I was able to spawn better mechs with better weapons to actually take its place. But like, dude, this thing needs a serious buff. The damage is so bad. It's so bad, and it doesn't even the weapon doesn't even have a good perk. It's literally just, oh yeah, sometimes you do double damage, which is like one of the lamest perks that they give to basically every weapon, by the way. Like half of all weapons have a double damage chance, so it's nothing special whatsoever. The hit cone basically just makes it worse at longer range than it needs to be. Projectile speed's fine. The maximum range is fine. The optimal range is actually larger than 70 meters, I would say. The optimal range is good. Reload speed's a little bit too long. Magazine, you could make this have an infinite magazine. You could make it so it doesn't ever have to reload a day in its life, but it still is not going to kill anything because it doesn't have the damage. I'm gonna have a little bit of a nerve to put a heavy hitter perk on this weapon, I'm not gonna lie to you. My message to the devs would be, first off, give this thing a massive buff by like at least 50%, because it's absolutely dog water otherwise. And secondly, preferably, while you're buffing it, make it interesting. What kind of weapon is this? It's so lame. Like the mechanics are so lame. They're honestly. Like, give it shield pierce, give it bonus shield damage even, give it slightly higher RPM maybe. Regardless of what you do, it's gonna need like at least a 10-20% damage buff. But I would greatly appreciate some level of complexity to this weapon as well, because as it is, it's really basic and I find it super boring to play. Like, even if it did well, it's just not particularly fun or interesting. So the way that they buffed the Howler, that was fine. I mean, Howler's still a bad weapon, but they buffed it so that the projectile can pass through enemies, which I think is a cool mechanic. No other weapon has that mechanic. It makes sense if it's a sound wave type weapon. It makes sense. So, like, give this thing shield pierce. I think specifically shield pierce, maybe overheat, boost the damage a bit. The fire rate and reload speed is kind of up to you. The mag size I think is fine, but it needs to do more damage somehow. It needs to have a place somewhere. Because as of right now, I would rather use Quantum Gun than this thing. I've gotten better results with Quantum Gun, and Quantum Gun is like an absolute crap weapon. So yeah, that's just my message to the devs. My message to all of you guys watching, don't get this weapon under any circumstance. Like, literally, even if they offered it to you for free, you're probably worse off owning it. The 3 tokens that you get from this event here, those will each be converted to 30,000 credits. So if you just wait out the event and claim the token compensation, it's a solid 90,000 credits for you. Pretty solid. I would gladly take that over this weapon any day of the week. And this is coming from a guy who, like, low-key enjoys running really bad stuff, like Stasis Beam and repeater and weapons like that. Like, this weapon's so bad that it's not even entertaining to use. It's that bad. So, yeah, honestly a bit of a letdown, but otherwise that'll be it for me. Appreciate y'all. Take care.